Got behind big early, and bullpen did a good job keeping us in there. Tried to scratch a few runs there across to make it interesting late. It turns out the runs we gave up in the 8th and 9th ended up being pretty big. We battled back, but it just wasn't enough. We were behind a big 8 ball there early on and couldn't scratch our way back into it. But our guys battled, and we just got to turn the page and get ready for tomorrow.
Maxio came into this outing 0.84 ERA or something along those lines. Goes 7 innings. What do you make of his start? Only 3 hits outside of what Landon did tonight.
Good stuff. And the kid attacked the zone and did a good job. Thought we hit some balls hard and had a pretty decent approach on him. We just didn't find a lot of holes, but we hit some balls hard off him.
Alba obviously came into relief for Overbay, looked pretty good. I think at one point he had struck retired 9 out of 10 in a row. What do you make of his performance?
He kept us in, somewhat in the game there. Obviously, being down 7 early after 3 was not an easy task for us to get back, but he at least calmed the waters and gave us a chance to try to claw back in there. We put up a couple in the 5th and got it within somewhat striking distance, and he did a good job putting up zeros and changed the way we were kind of thinking about managing the end of that game, where we brought in Brady Lauk there to face a lefty. He came out throwing the ball with best he's thrown it all year, and after that, after he put up another 0, we felt good about where we were at. Like, shoot, we can do this thing here late if we get into that bullpen. And brought in JB, and we gave up a crooked number there and another one in the 9th, and that turned out to be a lot bigger than what it looks like. So we don't give up those runs. Again, it's baseball, I get it, but we jump into their pen hopefully if we don't give up those runs. But we did, and now we're just gonna have to battle and square it off against their best arms tomorrow, and we got our best arms going too.
In the first inning, Hairston went double, took third on a wild pitch and scored on an error. What does that sequence say about his game as a whole?
I mean, I've been saying it a lot lately. He's a good player. Takes his hits when he gets them, and is able to create some things on the base pass, and he's a complete player.
How important is it for these guys to face one of the best arms in the nation right now in terms of experience down the line of the season?
It's we're going to have to beat good arms as we move forward, and having a good game plan again. I thought we had a really good game plan against that kid, and he's got a really good arm and throws from a tough angle, and he's a tall kid, 6'5", 6'6", throws hard, has a couple of different breaking pitches that he throws in there, and has an idea what he's doing, pounds the zone. So he's obviously good. We had a good approach, I thought, going into him, and again, squared a lot of balls up that were right at guys. Hit some balls hard deep that didn't get out of the ballpark. So I wasn't too disappointed with our offensive approach against him. I thought we did just fine off him. We didn't put up a lot of runs, but we had a pretty good offensive approach against him.
You talked a lot about depth. Seeing Matt Polk come in late, square it up, hit a home run. What does that speak to the depth of the team and just these guys being able to stay right?
Well, I think Polky's a guy that's capable. He's been at a good program, before us in Vanderbilt. Knows how to play the game. Has kind of gotten a little bit out of what he does best, and we've been really trying to work getting him back in the middle of the field. He's been working hard at it the last few days especially, and there was an opportunity there. Just wanted to get him a bat and see how that translated into a game. Obviously, it translated great with the 3-run homer there in the 9th, but we're gonna need some more offense. Right now from a couple of spots that are just kind of stagnant offensively. We're gonna have to shake some things up and try to figure out a way to get some more offense, and whether or not Polky moves into the outfield somewhere and move Landon around. I don't know. We'll get creative with it if we have to, but right now we got to figure out ways to get some more production out of a couple of those guys.
With Overbay, now it's third start in a row that hasn't maybe gone his way this year. Is that more of a concern now that it's 3 in a row, or are you still confidence in his ability as a Saturday starter?
We're going to get through tomorrow, and then we'll reevaluate. I'm focused on, really focused on tomorrow, on what we have to go attack those guys with, and what they're going to be bringing at us, and try to figure out how to win a series tomorrow. And after that's over, we'll kind of evaluate the rotation and see what's best. We have a short week coming up for next weekend on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. How that impacts it, we'll take a good look at that and see if there needs to be some adjustments.
Alva's made one start this year so far. Is he potentially an option in case you do decide to switch up those weekend starters?
There's been a lot of guys that have thrown the ball really well. Taylor Penn's thrown it well. Colby Guy, as of late, has thrown it really, really well. Jaden had a nice outing today, which is a step in the right direction for him. Easton Barrett obviously has bounced back, throw the ball decent in his last start. So again, we'll reevaluate, see who we play next week. It's no secret, but we'll see who matches up the best and what we'll go with at that time.
How important is it for you to have 3 consistent starters as you go closer to postseason play and possibly make a run in the NCAA tournament?
Well, in a perfect world, yeah, you'd love to have a set Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday starter, but it's just college baseball. Things change quickly, and what appears to me one week might not be the same as the next week. But I think the biggest thing from our staff looking at this thing is just get outs. Doesn't matter if you're in the starting spot or the middle spot or the late spot. Just go get outs and do what you do best. Attack the zone, work ahead, and that's usually when those guys are successful. I don't care if that's the first 3 innings, the middle 3, or the last 3. You have to, the overall game doesn't change. Work ahead, throw your off speed behind the count for strikes when you can, and when you're way ahead in the count, don't leave hanging breaking balls over the middle of the plate. We do those things, we'll be okay.
As a coach, is there a piece of you that kind of enjoys the do or die mindset of like a game 3 rubber match to kind of emulate those must-win games if you find yourself in that later in the season?
No, I want to sweep and win every game. I don't have to have rubber matches and that type of stuff, but it is what it is. We're gonna have to be in these type of dogfight games that tomorrow we anticipate tomorrow being. So we knew that things aren't going to be a cakewalk, and there's going to be adversity throughout the year, and we're going to have to dig deep and find out what we're made of, and tomorrow's a good example of that. So hopefully be battle tested, and like you said, maybe this helps us later on in the year. But bottom line, we just got to do whatever we can to win tomorrow.
Only 5 at-bats with runners in scoring position, specifically with approach. What stood out to you this evening?
Like I said, I think the overall approach was fine. We didn't get as many base runners as we want, but if you look at the walk column, that kid didn't walk anybody. So when you don't walk anybody, it's tough to get. I think he maybe hit a couple guys, but walks or free bases are, in my mind, just like a base hit. They're base runners. That's one thing I will say that young man did a really good job of not walking anybody, not giving us free passes along to go along with the hits, and even though the hits were sparing there for a bit, he did a good job of not getting additional base runners on there. Like I said, I'm not disappointed with the approach at all. I thought we swung the bats decent tonight, especially for a kid of that caliber. I thought we swung the bats okay, but we just couldn't piece together a big rally.
For Alex, what has kind of stood out to you about his execution compared to where he was at coming out of the bullpen and now kind of attacking the game, taking starts?
Working from behind instead of working ahead. And he's got really good stuff, but stuff doesn't play when you're continuously 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, 2-1. He's got to work ahead in the counts, bottom line. And his stuff plays. His stuff's really good. We all know that, but it doesn't play when you're working from behind the count every time.
You guys have had some really highs and lows this weekend. What do you tell these guys going into a big game 3 to just keep a level head?
Win a series tomorrow. Flush it, shower well, and be ready to go tomorrow.